Some narcissists want power, others want admiration, but there's one type that doesn't care about either, and that makes them the most dangerous of all. They don't follow the usual patterns, they don't fit the typical signs, and when they feel rejected, their response isn't just manipulation, it's destruction. I've spent the last 20 years researching self-worth and narcissistic relationships. As a coach, author, and survivor myself, I teach practical systems to help empower you. In this video, I'll show you how to recognize the most dangerous type of narcissist, the chaotic cycle they trap you in, and what you need to do to protect yourself before it's too late. Most people assume that the most dangerous narcissists are loud, arrogant, and openly cruel, but the real threat are the ones who don't look dangerous at all. If you've ever met someone who seemed deep, introspective, maybe even a little broken, but in a way that made you want to root for them, you've seen this before. They don't appear grandiose or arrogant. Instead, they pull you in, presenting themselves as underdogs, people who have suffered and just need someone who understands. At first, you might love how open they are, how deeply they seem to feel things. They form connections fast, but it doesn't seem concerning at first. It just feels like they really get you, like you've met someone who sees the world the way you do. And then slowly, things stop making sense. You take a little too long to text back one day and suddenly they're devastated. Or you say the wrong thing and instead of brushing it off, they're in full meltdown mode. They react so intensely, so bizarrely, that your first instinct is to think, like, this can't be real. Maybe they're joking. Maybe they're just being dramatic. Because who actually reacts like this? And yet, for as sensitive as they seem, they don't hesitate to turn on people the moment they feel slighted. Every ex betrayed them, every friend abandoned them, every boss mistreated them, and the way they talk about these people isn't just disappointment, it's seething resentment that never fades. What you're seeing is not just a covert narcissist, it's something more complex, a mix of narcissistic, borderline, and antisocial malignant traits, shifting depending on what serves them in the moment. At the core, they're still a covert narcissist. They seek validation and control through pity and reassurance. They target empathetic, responsible people who feel compelled to take care of others, and they pull them in by appearing wounded and fragile. And as long as you're serving their needs, they seem gentle, caring even. But when they stop getting what they want, they don't just sulk or guilt trip, they snap. And that's where you start to see the borderline traits. If you're not familiar with borderline tendencies, the core issue is emotional instability, rapid mood swings, extreme reactions, and a deep fear of abandonment. They don't just get upset, they feel everything at full intensity. One moment they're adoring you, and the next something trivial happens and you're the villain, the betrayer, and the person who's hurting them on purpose. And this is when you start walking on eggshells. One wrong word, one forgotten text, and they either fall apart or explode. Their emotions swing between rage, despair, and overwhelming neediness, acting impulsively in ways that they'll either deny or regret later. There's no middle ground, only extremes, idolization or punishment. If their meltdowns don't pull you back in, then they switch again, this time to cruelty, vengeance, and aggression. If they feel rejected, they don't let go. They fixate, obsess, and escalate, seeking to ruin you. They'll destroy reputations, sabotage careers, and turn your own friends and family against you. And this is what makes them the most dangerous type of narcissist. They don't fit neatly into one category because they exist on a continuum, swinging between extremes. On one end, they're hyper needy, emotionally volatile, and terrified of abandonment. They cling, panic, and break down at the slightest hint of rejection, desperate to pull you back in. But when that fails, they swing to this other extreme of being hyper vindictive, explosively vengeful, and out for destruction. It's an obsessive need to punish and to lash out in ways that feel erratic, uncontrollable, and impossible to predict. At their core, you're still seeing a covert narcissist driven by this need for reassurance, pity, and unwavering devotion. They want you to be their rock and their savior, and the moment they sense you pulling away, they spiral, gripping tighter, lashing out harder, and when you try to escape, they make sure that you regret it.